Hi everyone, it's Dr. Ford. So I know this video relates to week 2 and most of you have already turned in week 2, but if you haven't, then could be very valuable for you. So I wanted to really discuss why you did the exercise you did in week 2. As you are looking through and finding research for your dissertation, you're going to read hundreds of articles. In fact, I want to say that my dissertation had about 350 references in it. So trying to keep track of that can be very overwhelming, extremely overwhelming. And so one of the reasons why you want to keep a research summary table is so that you don't have to always go back and reread your research. So we had you list the article, summarize it, provide the methodology, observations, and your gaps. So I've got this research summary table that I'm doing on emotional intelligence. I'm doing some research and data analysis as contract work. And so, I am keeping track of my research. Now, I probably won't have nearly as much research as I would for a dissertation, but still, it's very helpful. So that's one of the reasons why you want to keep this, is that if you're looking for something as you're writing or rewriting, your mind will go to, now wait, what was that article that I read on nurses? I bring that up because this first article is about nurses. Excuse me, I've been a little under the weather since yesterday. So even when you do this, and the great thing about it is I could type in nurses and it's automatically going to find me the article that I wrote or that I read about the nurses. So I highlighted this one, and I did because it is about teachers. And I probably would do this one too in gold. And let me tell you why. Because the research I'm conducting is leadership. So while there might be some really good takeaways from this article, I'm probably not going to use it as some of my primary research. So I highlighted it in gold. Again, this is just my own way of doing things. So I've expanded my table to include the link to the article. So as you notice here, I've got a Google Drive where I have my research summary. It's the same thing as this, but I don't like it because it doesn't hold the format. So as you can see, this is supposed to be italicized. So when I copy it in here, it doesn't hold the format. So that's why I actually like to use Excel. Okay, so back to this. So anyway, so I have this article that I put it in the wrong place. This is the article that I downloaded on the nursing satisfaction. So in my table, I have my link. So I could immediately just open that, I think. Let's go. Yes, I can open that. So I can go directly to the article. Again, this is a personal preference, but if you were like me, there are a lot of times when you download the articles, and sometimes you print them out. And I'll tell you why I printed out some articles is because I highlighted them as I was reading them, because I knew I wanted to use something from that particular article that in my writing. So that's one of the reasons why I downloaded. And I kept this big binder with everything alphabetized. I had a section on articles, section on books, and you name it, I had it. So it was a pretty thick binder. Probably not the best way to go now, since I actually have Adobe PDF, the professional version. So now I could actually go in here and do some highlighting right here, so that I don't have to to do all that printing out business. So I can highlight this anyway, and make notes too. You know, this is Albanian students. Sorry. So I can make notes to myself. So again, it's all about the tools you have when you're working on something. I would not print out this article because I don't want to waste paper, and therefore I can go here and look and find everything. But anyway, this is just some of the ways that I use. Yes, I can save that. Some of the methods that I use. Now, here's where I want to go to next. I want to show you, I found this really good article. Oh, actually, it's that same article here at the library. And I could download this particular article. But before I do that, what I did was I clicked on Cite. Now, what's wrong with this? Let's change it to APA 7. What's wrong with this? The title is not retained as far as the proper format. So remember the rules of capitalization. If you watch my videos, the rules of capitalization: capitalize the first word after a colon, in any proper nouns. So if I copy this, and let's open a Word document here. New, copy that, then it saves it, but it doesn't save it correctly. So I can go here and I can tell it to give me sentence case, not sentence case, lowercase, and then I could just fix that word and fix this word, and I'm all good to go, if until I need to format it with hanging indent and all that jazz. So anyway, just because you can get a citation from the library does not mean that the library citation generator is accurate. Now, there's a couple of tools I want to introduce you to. So I use something called CiteFast. I like CiteFast. I've got that one in there. So I have my research here, and I just started this research. Actually, I have another bibliography that I've used, but this is the thing I like about CiteFast. It's free, first of all. And as you can see, look at all the different bibliographies that I have. I mean, I've got one that's got 61 right here. This is research I do for classes that I've developed and that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's the great thing about it. You can create a bibliography. So I have this bibliography. Now, what I really like about CiteFast is that it will format a web page, a book, a journal, and then other. So if you're using something like a video, or you've got it from a newspaper, or a conference, blog post, a dissertation, this will format your references as close to APA as I have found of any generator out there. Now, I know some of my DBA students, because I teach other classes here in the DBA program, some of my DBA students use Zotero. Oopsie. Well, I've still got that up then. So, if I have this in Zotero, let's create that citation here. See what Zotero does. Because as you can see, CiteFast formatted it correctly. So let's go here to, this is it. This is the journal article. So I've got this here, and this one does, this Zotero, this is accurate. And so you can copy it, or you can export it, or whatever. I know you can copy to the clipboard and so forth, so on. So I was working, I created this video yesterday, but I have not been feeling well, and it was really kind of not a great video by the time I finished stumbling through it. But as you can see, it's got a compilation. Now, what I also want to share is, it's not going to always, if you use CiteFast, if you choose to use CiteFast, it will not find everything. Let me show you why. So I've got this book by Bradbury here. I'm going to copy it and come over here and choose book. And I put the book title in. And so it's going to go out and find. I am not seeing the newest Bradbury book. This is the old Bradbury book, but I don't want that Bradbury book. So, in this case, it didn't find the book I was looking for. However, don't despair. You can do a manual entry. So, I can come back here and T. Bradbury, T. Whoopsie. T. Oh, for Pete's sake, Kim, stop. T. Bradbury. And it is the whole book. It was published in 2024. The book title now, it does tell you, hey, this needs to be in sentence case, Kim. So, I can copy this in here, since I already have it. And it'll be correct. But if I didn't, I'd have to fix this. And this was Simon & Schuster. Goodness, Kim. I'm still not feeling well. And there we go. And I could save my citation. Now, let me tell you one of the reasons why I like CiteFast. Is, other than the fact that it will cite almost everything that's out there. Once I get this reference list filled, I can copy and paste. I could generate my in-text citation by clicking this button, and boom, data, boom, it's in there correct. So I just copy and paste it into my paper. But export to Word, it exports a beautifully formatted, automatically hanging indent, and double spaced. So I love this. And it also keeps, let me close that guy. It also keeps everything in alphabetical order. So, whichever you choose to use, just make sure that if it generates the citation or the, reference, like this one, if it generates it, just make sure that it is correct. So, like I said, this one is not correct. They didn't follow the rules of capitalization. So, what's the other great thing about the ProQuest is I actually, back in the day, I used EndNote. But who wants to pay for something when you've got access to Zotero or CiteFast? So, you can actually export this out to Zotero. Anyhow, and this will include the link. As you noticed here, what I went over the last time is when I downloaded that, but that'll give you the link to the library if you don't want to download that. So anyhow, this is not the correct citation style, but whatever. Let's go to set 7 and go to Zotero and see it's doing that automatically with the AMA, which is that, I don't know about that. So anyway, if you're using Zotero, just be mindful. What's great about using ProQuest 2 is, look, when I did my search results on emotional intelligence, I said, hey, I want it within the last 5 years. So that's all it gave me, was the last 5 years. So when I look at this article, it's there. It gives me more suggested sources, but this is because this article was about nurses. It's literally this one. This one might be a really good article. Leadership behaviors of nurse administrators. That one would be really relevant to what I'm working on. So anyway, what I wanted to share is this will be your friend. This will absolutely be your friend. Keeping a nice table like this. Now, I'm going to be honest. I built a database, but then I'm a techie. So, but this works just great. And as you put in your add more to your table, of course, true to Excel, you can sort this. I'm going to sort it Z to A, which is not correct, A to Z. So no matter what you put this in, order, you can order it. But if you use something like CiteFast, it automatically keeps the order, which is alphabetized correctly. So I just want to share that whatever tool you use, it is still up to you to double check to make sure that whatever it generates is generating it accurately. That's the one downside that I've seen to some generators. But, as I said, I've been pretty happy with CiteFast, as you can tell, because, again, I've got all kinds of research for all kinds of things that I do. So apparently it's one of my favorites, and it's free. You can do premium if you want. I haven't really used it, but I haven't even checked into the premium because this has served my purpose. But anyhow, I hope this helps explain why you want to do it. It is a tool for you to use as you are reading and finding research that is relevant to your work, because you won't be just using 10 or 15 references as you work on your dissertation. You're going to be using and reading a lot of research. You may find after you've documented your research that it may not meet your needs. So you can either delete it or do what I did right here, my yellow, and I'm a color coder kind of person. My yellow means, it's a good article, but it really isn't focused on the leadership that I'm looking for. So I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to highlight it in yellow, which means it's probably not going to be one of my key articles that I use as I'm writing. Anyway, I hope this helps. I know it's a little bit late. I do think some of you haven't turned in this yet because there have been other things going on, and I know you're getting up to speed, but keep this research summary worksheet, however format you want to do it. You could use OneNote if you wanted to. I don't care what kind of tool you use. The key is to manage what you're doing so that you are working efficiently and not having to go back and reread every article that you've downloaded. Wait a minute, I know I downloaded this article on blah blah blah. Where is it? Well, if you use something like this will keep you from having to search your brain, and you can search your spreadsheet. Have a wonderful day.